Hello and welcome to E3 2016. I'm Solomon Blair, and on behalf of the Pixologic team, we're here to talk some art and of course play some games. Let's go check it out. So if you can't tell by this giant vault door behind me, we're at the Bethesda booth where we're checking out Fallout 4. We've got this beautiful Doom poster up here with this epic looking creature. We also have Elder Scrolls to the side. To the left of me we have the Brotherhood of Steel, as well as the Pip-Boy, which I'm still trying to figure out how to get out of this case. But as we've been walking the floor, checking out all of these games at E3, which is actually panning out to be one of the best E3s to date, and we're really starting to bridge the gap between reality and video games. And ZBrush is used heavily in all of these games behind me to not only concept the characters, but also create the final assets and detail the environments as really an art tool that's helping all of these developers make these stories a reality. So here at the Bethesda booth, we're going to check out the Bethesda VR, where we actually get to try out Fallout 4 in virtual reality. So we're excited. Let's go check it out. Okay, so we're here with Ara, also known as Kermako.
Yeah.
Kermako on the interwebs. Ara is an amazing ZBrush artist. He participated in the ZBrush Summit Sculpt Off Challenge last year. How's it going, man?
Good. It's awesome.
What are you here to check out today?
I'm just checking out all the different new games that are coming out. I just checked out Doom in VR, which was really amazing, and just checking some Oculus stuff.
How was the Doom VR experience?
It was pretty cool. I mean, I'm glad I don't have the nausea experience. I really adapt well to it, but it's really scary because you think you're going to fall or you kind of catch yourself. So it's really a lot of fun. I mean, amazing to see all the stuff that's been created in ZBrush alive and in a world that you're in. It's brilliant.
As we've been walking the floor, it's very exciting for us as we see all of these amazing games with the details that they're able to achieve now. All these next-gen systems, they're able to hold so much more geometry now,
right,
in conjunction with the render engines, and
yes,
things are starting to really, the bridge between reality and games is so close now.
Yeah, and I still think that you can create a lot of amazing things in ZBrush that still have not made it into games. I think there's a lot of new stuff that are kind of going to be in there soon to give more detail and give more realistic stuff. But I mean, it's amazing what's there. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
But there's so much more coming, and I'm really excited to be a ZBrush artist and be part of that.
Well, we're glad to have you. All of your nanomesh testing, and you're an avid user on ZBrush Central. You're avid in the community, so we appreciate you as well.
Sure, thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys too.
We'll be having the summit coming up pretty soon. You're going to be attending, right?
Definitely be attending and hopefully be participating as well.
Absolutely. Yep, so ZBrush Summit coming up in a couple months, September 30th through October 2nd. We're going to be showcasing some of these amazing studios, artists from their teams, showing off exclusive assets that are used in these games. We're also going to have workshops where you can learn how to use ZBrush from the pros. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up at the summit, and we look forward to seeing you there, Ara.
Fantastic. Happy ZBrushing.
Happy ZBrushing. So I'm here with Dan and Joel, all the way to the left here. These guys are both from Open Bionics. These guys have developed this Deus Ex animatronic arm. So can you guys tell me a little bit about this process as far as how you guys went about creating this?
Well, I think I'll pass that to Joel first. Yeah, so we 3D printed these prototypes. So we've got the prosthetic and then the two animatronic ones to demonstrate. And we used an initial process of 3D printing, and then they're sanded and polished and painted and lacquered as well. So it's quite a hands-on process. This will actually be released as a product in around a year, so people with limb differences will be able to buy it and wear it. By that time, we'll have honed down the process. It'll be a bit less manual.
So as far as when you guys design or come up with a concept for this, ZBrush is used a lot to develop these assets for the game, used in the game. As far as taking maybe a starting point, do you guys maybe take the 3D model or receive a 3D model and then break apart the pieces that you need to go through the fabrication process and 3D printing?
We received sculpted files for the initial shape and design, and then we adapted those to make them work with the mechanical design.
That's amazing. They're beautiful pieces, and I see you have multiple iterations. How many of these things did you go through until you got the right one?
So we've been working on these bionic limbs for maybe a year and a half. So we've gone through hundreds of iterations. In terms of with this specific design, we probably printed about a dozen versions of the hand and like 2 or 3 of the whole arm before we got everything to work.
Well, it's a beautiful piece, and we've got people over here interacting with it, controlling the fingers. The piece is amazing. The game is amazing. Is there any Twitter that we can have you guys plug for your company, or where other people can check out more about what you do?
Yeah, so our Twitter is OpenBionics, at OpenBionics, and we love to hear from people, so please send us a tweet. Dan's got his own social media channel.
Yep. My personal one is just daniel.j.melville.
There you go.
So, yeah, been pretty crazy because I'm being a gamer, and I used to do a lot of design work. I'm not that good anymore because I just got so into 3D printing myself as well, and I roughly sometimes use ZBrush. Very mediocre level at it, but yeah, being part of this as well is what kind of made me fall back in love with design and stuff. And I mean, I just love being part of it. I mean, I didn't have any say in the design, but you know, just being part of it and being like, hey, I get to wear the Anna Jensen arm. It's just been like, ow.
It's a pretty cool feeling, I can imagine.
Yeah, the amount of like smiles you get, the amount, you know, and it just fills me with happiness because I like to, like, you know, people just say it's one of the highlights of being here is to like get to see the arm and shake the hand. It's just surreal, to be honest. So yeah.
It's very cool. It's awesome to hear that you use ZBrush and you do a ton of 3D printing. This has got to be super exciting for you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if it wasn't for these guys, I wouldn't be into 3D printing. So I kind of like fell out of a lot of stuff. I didn't know where I wanted to go, and I had started helping these guys like 2 years ago. And I was like, don't get 3D printing. I'm buying a 3D printer, and I just started getting in and going on from there though. So yeah. So
what kind of printers do you use, or what do you have one at home?
I use Lulzbot myself. Yeah, they're a nice little company, really nice couple of people who met them before, and yeah. So I've just 3D print stuff for people, done a few of my own designs, but you know, starting to get there. But yeah, just being able to like 3D print lightsabers, anything like, you know, now in the future we'll be able to print these from home. You know, it's going to be open source, so it's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely, it's a beautiful design, very aesthetically pleasing. It's very functional, which I love so much, and the game itself is a wonderful game. We had a chance to play yesterday. Cool game, very cool game. So thanks guys for taking the time to chat with us, and we're gonna hit the floor. Him and I are gonna have a thumb battle real quick, so we'll see you guys later. So we're here with Mike, and we actually just sat down, and you just tried ZBrush for the first time. Mike, you're an employee at Google, is that correct?
Yep, I work at Google. I'm a software engineer there.
Okay. So what do you do as far as, you know, when you develop software, are you guys working on things all the time? You're more of a programmer aspect, or your brain is you're very calculated.
Yeah, definitely. I generally approach things much more from the engineering perspective. I've done some modeling in the past, just sort of, well, I've learned about modeling in the past, but it's always more like I think of things from a CAD approach. And so ZBrush was a much different experience from anything I've tried before.
As far as just getting started using the tools, was it comfortable for you, or did you have any issues? We sort of just ran through the basics.
Yeah, no, it felt much more, I think, intuitive than what I'd done in the past. Like, I'd been poking with things like Blender and Maya, and those things, you know, I could get what I wanted done, but it felt like it took more work to get there. I liked how ZBrush was just sort of like a push-pull kind of mentality, so.
I know a ton of people at the office that would greatly appreciate that, and we're always happy to have new ZBrush users all the time. Do you see yourself picking up ZBrush in the future, just as a hobbyist maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I model from time to time, mostly just to keep myself entertained. I try to work it into my daily work, but then that never actually comes through, so. But yeah, I could see myself using ZBrush, so the next time I'm looking to model something, I definitely think I'd be able to get something that looks cooler than my previous models. It always turned out really blocky. You know, I love the fact that I can just smooth anything. Like, I know that's just one feature, but, you know, that was the feature that for me, I'm just like, oh, neat. So if I just make something ugly, I just go like this, and all of a sudden it looks good.
It's really nice to hear that you enjoyed that experience.
Yeah, I appreciate the chance to try it out. Thanks a lot.
So we're here with our friend Eric Sosa, fellow ZBrush artist and insanely talented sculptor. Not to mention, actually,
I beat 'em.
the winner of the organic sculpt off challenge at the ZBrush Summit last year. No luck, man. Well deserved. You're actually going to be defending that title this year, right?
Yes. Yes,
All
sir.
right. So, what brings you here today?
I'm actually just here to see everything. You know, it's just awesome. I love video games, but I'm actually here to set up Ryu, as you can see back there. We actually did that entirely in ZBrush. So
So this is all ZBrush right here.
Yeah, that's-
This guy right here. That's amazing. Just ZBrush.
yeah. I actually sculpted it with the help of some of the guys in my team. As you know, I'm pretty decent in ZBrush with when it comes to organic, but when it comes to mechanical things,
I think more than decent.
I'm still learning, man. But like for example, the base was done by one of my guys. He's awesome, and then the belt that was done by him as well. That's Ryan Serrano. He's amazing, and but everything else was done by me. In terms of the anatomy, the body, the face, you know, the hair.
Right. So you've been using ZBrush for a few years now, and you were you were a traditional sculptor, and you transitioned. What was it, 3-4 years ago now?
It's actually like, I think 3 years. I've been doing it for 23 years. So it's been like 20 years doing like, you know, traditional. Just like clay, super sculpey, wax. And then one day I just got sick of, you know, dealing with all these insane deadlines. And I literally got sick to the point where I couldn't move my neck. So I heard about ZBrush, and I heard that it was a great tool. So I started using it. And I realized that, man, I can do things so much faster. So one person becomes an army, you know? So
So it's much faster for you now.
it's a lot faster. So just so you get an idea, when I was doing stuff by hand, I was making like maybe 50 characters a year, which is a lot. And nowadays, sometimes I do that like in 3 months.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you at the Sculpt Off again this year,
Thank you, man.
defending the title. Hopefully you have a good time in this next 3 days. You're going to be posted up here this whole time?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm
Maybe we could go do a little gaming a little bit later, hit the Ubisoft booth. I'm trying to check out the Watch Dogs too.
Oculus,
Yeah, Oculus, dude. There's so much amazing stuff happening in this back corner over here.
ZBrush VR, guys, coming soon.
Oh, hey,
2020.
we're not making any promises, but all right, man,
You put it on.
for sure. Thanks for time for talking to us, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so it's day 3. We're ready to wrap up soon. I know it doesn't look like it. We got all this craziness going on in the background, but we've had a blast. We've talked to so many developers, artists, getting to see all these finished products that are coming out this year. We got to play Fallout VR. It's been an incredible experience for us. We want to remind you guys that on September 30th to October 2nd, we'll be having our 3rd annual ZBrush Summit, as well as our ZBrush Sculpt Off Challenge, where you get to live stream and watch all of these people compete against each other in hard surface as well as organic contests. And at the ZBrush Summit, we'll be hosting some of these big companies like Square Enix, Bethesda, where they'll be showcasing Doom, Fallout 4, and showing you guys exclusive assets that are used in the game and talking about their process and how they develop and concept out all these characters. So don't miss it. We'll be live streaming the event. You can also show up. It's here in Hollywood, California. So we hope to see you guys there. Find out more information at ZBrushSummit.pixologic.com. So we're checking out, and we'll see you guys there. Thanks. Good song to finish, though. You good to go?